Hello and welcome to Tech Tips, everybody, and today we are going to look into Premiere Pro. It's another editing software. It is like Final Cut and DaVinci Premiere, only it's made by Adobe. I'll be honest, I do prefer the other editing softwares, but there are things that are good with this one. Let's just dive in right away and just create a project and just see how it works. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new project as per usual. You have to set a few more things in Premiere Pro. So for example, you're going to display your timecode, feeds, frames, blah, 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 blah. Put audio samples. Usually these are actually, you can just leave them. Nice. Scratch disk, that's important. You leave all of these as same as project. So when you delete your project, it deletes everything. Otherwise you can end up with folders of old media that's just clogging up and killing your computer. And you don't want that. So anyways, always name your project, Tech Tips, TT, Premiere Pro. All right, and we're gonna put it in a location. Also important, put it in a location you can find. Otherwise you're gonna look for all your files and media and everything. There you go, Premiere Pro, that's fine, good. And okay. And we have created Tech Tips, Premiere Pro. As the other ones, you start from the left and you go to the right. So up here you're gonna have your source, clips, effect controls, audio clip mixer, and that's a fun one for Premiere Pro. That is probably the best part of the entire software, that you can actually control your levels in a different way. Let's see here. You can do different kinds of layouts. So if you're learning, they'll do some forms for you. If you're just putting it together without cutting, that's just assembly. There's color correcting specifically, but I prefer editing. There we go. And we're gonna first start a new sequence. There we go. Here you pick up what kind of sequence you want. You're gonna keep it to what you recorded. So if you recorded XDCAM, you use XDCAM. If you recorded in DVPAL or NTSC, you pick those formats. And up here in the middle, you see the specifics. So video settings, 1080 frame rates, and pixel aspect ratio, usually square. Anyways, I'm just gonna pick that one. I'm gonna call this TT Premiere. And we're gonna do XDCAM EX. That's fine. There you go. And I'm going to source. And there we go. So here you have your layout. Now we have a sequence in the bottom here with your timelines and everything. You have in this one different layers. So this is a linear editing software. So you can have your main media on 1, and you can have your graphics on 2, and you can have your lower thirds on 3, and then you can have main audio on layer 1, and then speaker 2, and then that way you can control the audio in a different way. Let's see if we can import something. Let's see what we got. That'll do. And here is the clips I just imported, and here is my timeline. So I'm just going to toss it in here. And as you can see, I can choose where I put it on, which level I put it on. So first clip is always on the bottom. But if I duplicate this, let's see here, if I double click, I can just do copy actually. Let's do a copy. Shouldn't unlink your media unless you have to. And paste, and then you can double click it, and then you can unlink it. So now I have one video and one audio, and I can move them however I want. So I'm going to delete the video just for show. I'm going to pull in the other audio here. I'm going to pretend that that's the second person. There we go. And if I go into audio clip mixer here, and I play, you will see that the two levels are the same. But now I can lower the level of one of them just here, and that entire level, that entire line will lower as many decibels as I tell it to. So if you have a whole ton of background music, for example, and you realize, oh my goodness, all of my background music is too loud, then you can just, if you put it all on, say, layer 3, all the way through the project, you just go up here and the audio mixer, and you pull down layer 3. There we go. All the background is now lower. Or same thing, if your speaker is too low, you can just go to level 1, raise the speaker. That part I really, really love with Premiere Pro. It is the thing I miss the most when I do other editing, other softwares. Anyways, you also have effect controls in here, where you have your volume, and there's actual effects, audio effects, reverb and such. You can put them in here, and then you control them from the effect control. Let's just put in something, I guess just a studio reverb on this one. There we go, and that was now marked on the actual file that you push. You can edit the custom setup, and here's all your reverb settings. For example, so if I go into video effects, there should be color correction, there you go. And color balance, I guess. There you go, toss in the color balance, and that will now be locked to the first part. And here you can set your midtones and your, and you see here, I just pull the shadow here and it becomes more red. And if I pull the green balance here, I can add more green to it, and more or less, there. So that's how you can do one of the color correcting parts in Premiere Pro. In the middle here, you see your actual controls. C for razor is where you cut, and V is the moving tool, so there. And you can put them back and forth and change them and cut your sequences through that way. You have a ripple tool, you have your slip tool, pen tool, hand tool, and type tool. Let's see here. There you go. There, tech tips. Move you around, push the other button, there you go, tech tips there. So anyways, you can add your little text in there, do your things in that way. Super easy. You just push your tools here, and then you just push in the screen here to move around, make a text or something like it. Very basic. Anyways, just say that you're all done now. You have done your little edit. You are now gonna say to send this out to YouTube or to a broadcaster or whatever. Then you push up here in the corner. It says quick export. And that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to go into File and Export. This is usually the safer way to do it, because here you can export the media, you can export an XML if you just want to do the editing info. But let's just start with media. In here you can just pick and choose what you're going to export as. Up here in the right corner you have your formats. So you have your H.264s for YouTube, for example. You have your MXF for broadcasters. You have Targa if you just want a file. QuickTime becomes MOVs. So just say we do a QuickTime, and then you have the sub presets, because there's a lot more than one MOV. You have your Apple ProRes, which are large files. You have your smaller DVs, DVPAL and NTSC DV, and such. So let's just do a giant ProRes. There you go. So let's see here, video. And here's another one you can choose codecs to, once again. So just keep it ProRes there. Good. All right. So down here you see your source. That's what your sequence was. It was 1080, 25 frames progressive. And this is what your new one is going to be. Also 1080, 25 frames progressive. Always keep an eye out on this one, because you want to stay as close to possible as to your source if you're just going to do archiving, or if it's something you're going to export for someone else. Make sure you know that the numbers are what they're asking for. Anyways, when you're all done there, you just press export, and then you're good to go. So that was a super quick video. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any more editing questions of sort, just don't hesitate to leave a comment. Until next time, see you.